Hey everyone, I am Nate and welcome to Hyper. In today's video, we are going to be having a look at the top 10 scariest plants that actually exist. Fun times. Bring your younger brothers and sisters around. They're gonna really enjoy this one. In at number 10 is, I'm gonna say this with a smile on my face, bleeding tooth fungus. Kicking off the creepy plant list is a fungus that bleeds a bright red fluid. Look at this thing. It looks like a gross blend of a scraped knee and moldy bread. The fluid excreted contains a pigment known to have anticoagulant properties similar to that of medication to treat heart attacks. The strange plant is not toxic, but it is inedible due to its extremely bitter taste. To be fair, if I was commonly known as bleeding tooth fungus instead of, say, strawberries and cream, I'd probably be super bitter too. In at number 9 is a Venus flytrap. Easily the most famous creepy plant is the Venus flytrap. Known as the predator of the plant world, it has 2 leaves that make up a mouth that it uses to devour its prey. When the hairs on the leaves are triggered, its tooth-like cilia snap shut, preventing its prey from escaping. Once its prey is trapped, a type of stomach acid is secreted that breaks down the unlucky chap so the plant can easily slurp up its corpse. The Venus flytrap is also very clever. It can tell the difference between live and non-live prey, and also if the effort required for trapping and digesting its prey is even worth its time. Picky eater? More like prickly eater. In at number 8 is Stinking Corpse Lily. This nasty thing is the largest single flower in the world with a diameter of up to 1 meter and can weigh up to 10 kilograms. You grow, girl. This cutie smells like, you guessed it pretty quickly, a corpse. This parasitic plant oozes the smell of rotting and decaying flesh to attract carrion flies for pollination and is one of the rarest plants in the world. Fun fact, this plant does not have chlorophyll as all green plants have, so it cannot undergo photosynthesis. Instead, it gets its nutrients from its host. Sharing is caring. In at number 7 is Doll's Eye. Doll's Eye is native to Northeast America and gets its strange name from its even stranger looking berries that look like plucked out eyeballs stuck on red sticks. The berries of this plant are present from May to October, so it's the perfect creepy plant for Halloween lovers. If used in very small quantities, the roots from this plant can be brewed into a tea that has been said to help with headaches, colds, and coughs. But be careful. Every part of this plant is poisonous and has been known to cause skin blisters and nasty gastrointestinal inflammation. I don't think I'd like this one in my backyard. See what I did there? In at number 6 is the Gimpy tree. The stinging hairs on this plant deliver a very potent neurotoxin that can be fatal to humans. Even lightly brushing this tree is enough to suffer its effects. What effects? Swollen armpits. Not kidding. The plant's toxin has been known to cause swelling under the armpits, aching joints, and a burning sensation in the affiliated area. If you are stung by the Gimpy tree, make sure you remove the stinging hairs as they'll continue to release the neurotoxin. So you can take it or leave it. In at number 5 is giant hogweed. Giant hogweed is a very large and invasive noxious weed that has just itching to make it on this list. Contact with this nasty plant can cause super painful burns and leave you with permanent scarring. When combined with moisture and sunlight, the sap from this plant can cause a severe burn within 24 to 48 hours of contact. This plant has been reported to grow to over 14 feet or 4.26 meters, and its leaves can grow to 5 feet or 1.5 meters wide and grows along streams, rivers, fields, roadsides, and yards. This plant was introduced to Europe and the UK in the late 19th century as an ornamental garden plant. If only they knew how diabolical this plant truly was. In at number 4 is your new gamer tag at Octopus Stinkhorn. Just like the stinking corpse lily, this fungus smells like decaying flesh. Unlike the lily though, the octopus stinkhorn, or better yet, devil's finger, looks like a demonic octopus trying to claw its way out of the earth. This monstrosity erupts from the ground from an egg and forms multiple nightmare tentacles like appendages. Technically, you can eat this while still in its egg state, but I wouldn't recommend it as apparently the taste and texture are horrible. What a fun guy. Fun guy. Fun. In at number 3 is Angel's Trumpet. I have arrived. For something sounding so pleasant and pure, this deadly plant is an instrument of pure pain. People have been known to grow this plant for its medical benefits in treating asthma and used as a natural anesthetic, even though all parts of the Angel's Trumpet are highly poisonous. To make things even worse, it's almost impossible to determine a safe amount to consume as the toxicity of this plant changes in toxicity. Exposure to this plant can cause migraines, diarrhea, confusion, hallucinations, confusion, and death. So, it's not ideal to eat it. Even touching the stems of this plant can be problematic, so handle with care. Or don't. You don't have to handle it. In at number 2 is Deadly Nightshade. If you like watching shows or movies with supernatural elements in them, then you've probably already heard of this plant before. Deadly Nightshade, also known as belladonna, is a favourite ingredient used in witches' potions and spells due to its spooky name and deadly effects. Nightshade is one of the most toxic plants found in the Eastern Hemisphere, with immediate symptoms from ingestion including blurred vision, speech impairment, confusion, delirium, and sensitivity to light, to name a few. An increased dosage may cause a development of heart disease and major stomach problems, psychiatric disorders, and finally, death. Before we reveal what number 1 is, what have you thought of the list so far? Have you heard of any of these plants? Does your nana have them in her garden? Let us know in the comment section down below, but it is now time for number 1. In at first place for the scariest plant that actually exists is the Dodo Vine or strangleweed. Planted at first place, this parasitic plant is messed up. Commonly known as strangleweed, this creepy thing also goes by wizard's net, devil's guts, and witch's hair, to name a few. When the strangleweed attaches itself to a plant, it wraps itself around it and produces a rot-like structure called hystoria that enters the host plant's vascular system or veins to absorb its nutrients. The creepiest thing about this plant is that these roots are not only capable of sucking out nutrients from the host, but can also be used to inject its own genetic material into it. This sucker is pretty much straight out of Aliens. Did you enjoy the video? If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out these other videos over here. I'm Nate, this is HypeHub, and we'll see you all next time.